I'm actually amazed at all the young actors today. They're so terrific, from Australia, England, of course. I was going to try and do this a little. There's a film I was going to do for a couple of days in Greece, so I said, well, let me stop here and arrange that. And then this other thing in Spain, it's 5 chefs, well-known chefs in Spain, are cooking a meal for me in Madrid.
You know the feeling when something great is about to happen in your life and you just don't want to tell anyone about it? You get extra superstitious and just don't want to tell anyone about it. Well, it's normal. And the most accomplished people also feel it at times. If you're choosing your passion for no apparent reason, then it might not be your passion after all. You are meant to do something that can motivate you, and you can express yourself better with it. Make sure to always trust the process, because if you are meant to be a great actor or a successful businessman, there is nothing that can stop you. But all you need to do is go with the flow and trust the process. You cannot just make things happen without being patient and without meeting new people. Yes, socializing and meeting people are going to take you places, and that is for sure. The greatest of actors did not just become great all of a sudden, but there are stories of struggle and hustle behind that success. You cannot please all age groups and all kinds of people with your art or your content, so it's better not to try at all. And instead, just do what you're doing, because that is what matters the most. Don't try to change who you are just to fit in, because that would not be fair to yourself.
On Tuesday, and I said, well, let me come and do these 2 things. This I would like to do for you guys, of course, and it's a different type of experience, and it's that simple. The thing that I was going to do was pushed back, so I said, let me go anyway. I've got a couple of small things like cameo type things and coming up in the next few months into the spring, and then that's it. I have other things in the fall, but I don't want to talk about them because I don't really know what's going to happen. It's supposed to go and this and that. Some very great projects, but I'm superstitious about whether, if you talk about it, there's the expression talk it away, but there's also just, you never know. So I'd rather wait and let it just happen. I don't know, it's probably better for critics to say that, or people, or the audience. I mean, there are many types of actors who are not actors, don't do what I do, and they're great in a certain way. I don't know. I remember when I was a student, I was 17, studying at a place called the Dramatic Workshop. And there was the head of the school at the time, said, why do you want to be an actor? I said, I wasn't sure, I just wanted to go, but he said, because you want to express yourself. And I said, okay, that's a good reason, and I think that's true. I knew Marty when I was a kid, a teenager in Little Italy, but we didn't hang out together. We had mutual friends who would go between my group and his group. So, like, for example, one mutual friend would tell me, well, Marty's interested in directing and he's doing this thing, he's working on this play and stuff like that. And then in my early 20s, I became, I forget when Who's That Knocking came out, but I saw that in mid-20s, whenever it was, and then I met Marty at a mutual friend's house for dinner on Christmas. I think it was Christmas Eve or something, 10 or so years later. Terrific movie, and I understood a lot of what he was doing. Talked about Mean Streets, I think, and he was saying, he's doing this movie, and so we talked about that. And then over the next month or 2, or maybe longer, we talked about, he offered me one of the 3 parts, Johnny Boy, the other 2 guys, not Harvey's part. And then I was going back and forth with him which one to do.
You can make fun of it. I mean, sometimes you can. It's kind of it's a given. There's nothing you can do about it, so you might as well make fun of it. I'm not thinking of anything specific, but yeah, sure. I think it's interesting when you walk down the street and you see younger people, they're all around you and they ignore you, they kind of see the peripheral vision, sees that you're older and not their generation, or maybe 2 generations or 2.5 generations older than they are. So they're not even interested unless if they see me or they recognize either they're curious, Otherwise, the peripheral of what the gray hair and all that, that's interesting. You kind of, so that you become part of another class of person, if you will. I think one thing, and you've heard it a lot, you hear it from people that get to be our age, or even younger or older, is that it went by so fast. But when you get there and you look back, it's just true, the kids grew up so fast.